Hi, I'm Allie, and 2 years ago, I introduced the Fruits Basket anime to my husband.
And I'm John, and as an anime only, I'm so stoked to see which of my theories are right.
And which are questionable.
So join us today as we talk about Season 3, Episode 12, You Fought Well. Alright, so where are we starting?
Well.
Whoa.
First, we have to talk about a certain video we
Whoa.
received on a certain Sunday.
Father's Day?
Father's Day.
Whoa!
We received a gift from your dad, Eric Vale.
Well, strictly speaking, it was a gift from Josh from our Discord server.
Yes,
who
yes,
is
yes.
absolutely fantastic, as is everyone in our Discord server. And he got Eric Vale, who, if you're not familiar, is the voice of Yuki in the dub for Fruits Basket, to say hi to us and the whole ThoughtBubble community. So we wanted to pop that on screen so that everyone could enjoy it with us. So here it is.
Hi, this is Yuki Soma, and I would like to say hello to John and Allie and the ThoughtBubble community, and remind everybody to don't be a stupid cat. Please. You can do better than that. So from Yuki Soma and from Eric Vale also, hi to everybody, and I hope everybody's having a spectacular, wonderful Father's Day, and, well, that's when I'm recording this, and a great weekend. Y'all take care, and hope the rest of this week is wonderful.
Thank you again, Josh. That was so cool. But now we have a lot more to talk about in regards to Yuki.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you want to keep the conversation going, like, you could maybe, like, join our Discord, because we're, like, real close to 500, and we could become a Discord partner, and that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, please join our Discord.
They're very wholesome.
They're so wholesome. Everyone's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know, it's super fun. So, come chat with us.
Yes, and many of them are Yuchi stans, which sounds like, you had a big moment with that today.
He was running for a long time, an entire episode actually. But did it pay off? It did! Because we kind of started off where we left off with Yuki, with him running down the stairs, and he's saying, like, I was thrilled that out of everyone, the person you were looking for was me. And I'm just like, hyperventilating. Because
Yes.
I'm so excited. And Yuki was like, he was so happy that he was like embarrassed about it. And I'm like, dude, same.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I've been waiting for this for a long time.
I know. You were like, you grabbed my hand. You would not let go.
Yeah.
My fingers hurt, honestly.
Yeah. And just like hearing like his thoughts about Machi and going to see Machi, talking about how like if there's someone that cares enough to search for you, then that shouldn't be taken for granted because it's a blessing. And he even calls it a miracle.
Yes.
And I just think it's so cute, and I know I'm just going on about how cute I think that this is, but it's just so pure, because I can tell he has, like, the little rat butterflies.
Ew.
That sounds so gross, but it's true. He has little butterflies everywhere, because he just wants to see her, and there's no conflict here. It's just cute. Because, don't get me wrong, I love Tohru and Kyo with my whole heart. Like, fully ship them. Like, it was fantastic. Best payoff, like, in any show I've ever seen with Tohru and Kyo. But, like, there was so much conflict there. And it was like a will they, won't they kind of situation.
Yes.
Whereas this is just like, oh my gosh, they're just little babies.
You're doing little tippy taps. He's so giddy.
It's so, yeah.
But, okay, so we're gonna read the manga, and you're gonna read all the extra Yuchi stuff that they cut.
Is there a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So, if you like Yuchi, go read the manga. If you like the show, go read the manga.
Well, I guess I have to now. Oh,
Interesting.
darn.
Darn, more content. But yes,
Drat.
but I love that Machi got Tohru a get well present. It's so cute. And stuff for her bath. Oh,
Yeah.
so kind. And it's super sweet because it was Machi's way of saying thank you to Tohru because she wants to show how grateful she is that Tohru protected Yuki all this time and that Tohru was Yuki's mom.
Because I think it's so important last episode that Kakeru kind of spilled the beans on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and that Kimi instigated. Like,
Yes.
what do you mean she's your mom? But, like, Machi understood that it was, like, purely platonic.
Yeah, she was like, oh, Tohru? Oh, she did that. She's the one who made you like me, kinda, because she brought you out of your shell? Interesting.
Oh, and when she was talking about how he saw her when she couldn't even see herself.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've talked at length in the Machi episode earlier this season about how tough of a time she was going through.
Mm-hmm.
And how sometimes you just need that person to see the good in you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. And she specifically says that he is who he is because he was weak once. And then they flash back to that scene with Hatsuharu and how he was talking about how someone will see Yuki and it's like this really emotional scene. But you know what I was thinking during this scene? That it reminded me of how Yuki was talking to Kisa in season 1, episode 18 about loving yourself.
Ooh.
Yes, because Machi said, you saw me when I couldn't even see myself. And that reminded me of how Yuki was talking about how it's hard to find something good about yourself when you can only see the bad parts. Instead, he thinks it's when someone says that they love you and they accept you that you can finally forgive yourself and notice the good things that you had all along. And that's what he told Kisa when she was struggling to talk and she had all of those issues with bullying. And he was like, no, girl, let me tell you what's up. And he helped Machi with that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Because, like, Tohru helped both him and Kisa to do that. Because Tohru found the good in those two and helped them to start opening up and accepting themselves and forgiving themselves, like Yuki kind of says to Kisa. And because Yuki does that for Machi, it's so full circle. Mm-hmm. But I think it's so interesting how the dynamics in each of these situations are different.
Yes. How they can take the same lesson, but use it for multiple different characters, and they all react in such different ways. And they should, because they're all such different, very well-developed characters.
Yeah.
I love this show.
Because this act is a maternal act from Tohru to Yuki, even though she may not see it as like a maternal act. Mm-hmm. She's just a fabulous human being. Whereas Yuki doing this to Machi clearly kicks off a romance. Mm-hmm. Which, what a romance it is.
Yes.
And then we get the opening.
Yes. And then after the opening,
Yuki notices his curse and he's feeling kinda like, oh, what's going on? That's unusual.
Yes. And he wants to tell Machi about the curse.
Which, oh my gosh, he's been thinking this for a while.
Yeah.
He's wanted to tell her about the curse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think taking that step, because prior to the curse breaking, that's a really difficult thing to do and almost dangerous to an extent, the way Akito used to be. But because he wanted to be so genuine and transparent with Machi, like he had to. Because at this point, Yuki didn't know that Akito had a full change of heart, correct?
No.
Like, in his mind, Akito still could have flown off the handle again at any moment.
Yeah, like, oh, it's super cool that Akito made friends with Tohru, but what does that mean? I'm still cursed.
Yeah.
Until God speaks and says, you're the last one. Just you now. It's time to go. And his curse breaks, and the visuals are stunning.
They're so stunning. And I wonder if all of the Zodiac members had this almost ethereal moment. I don't know if it was just for the visuals of the show or he could actually see God taking the rat away, you know? But I wonder if everyone had that exact same visceral experience of their zodiac animal walking away with God.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so emotional, because they're literally seeing God taking away this thing that's been a part of them, for good or for bad, mostly for bad, their entire lives. But even if it was bad, it still helped shape them, like Machi has said. Their experiences, their weakness, their shortcomings, their adversities help to create who they are now. Help to create Yuki, who he is now.
Yes.
And I think, if anything is a good lesson from this episode in particular, it's that everyone has adversity. There are some really difficult things that we as human beings have to go through in our lives. And it's how you overcome that adversity, even though that's tough, and I don't want to discount that. That's what shapes who you can become as a person. It's how you deal with these situations in your life and how you grow through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that message. I love it so much. Taking ownership of who you are, even though some terrible things have happened to you, because those terrible things don't define you.
No, they don't define you. That's so
It's so good.
Yes, and so Yuki is struggling through all of these emotions as his curse is breaking. He's weeping, and like Machi, this is just the strangest day for Machi. Like, she's not expecting any of this, but she's so empathetic and wonderful through it all.
Yeah, because she just keeps asking him about this person who he had to say goodbye to, saying things like, "Oh, will you ever see them again?" Mm-hmm. He's like, "No." But that's what makes me free. And then he goes in for the hug.
You finally got your hug.
Oh, they finally hug. And oh my goodness. And then she like backs away and she's like, "Can I call you by your first name?" Which I think is the cutest thing in the world.
Yeah, she doesn't want to just call him president anymore. Now he's gonna be Yuki. And she says it, like twice or something?
Yeah.
And then he has his finger on her lip. Like, Yuki's so smooth.
He's so smooth, which solidifies, if this man is such a smooth criminal in this moment, that proves to me that his awkward, weird flirting with Tohru in like season 1 and 2 totally just had no idea what was happening.
Boy was lost.
Yeah, he just felt like that's what he should be doing, because man, when he wants to be smooth, boy is smooth as porcelain. Oh.
You got your kiss.
2!
Yeah.
2!
Yeah.
The second one I missed on the first watch through. I didn't see the second kiss. But yeah, they kissed twice, and the boy, after these 2 kisses, he's like, "Call me Yuki as often as you like."
Yes. You were gripping. Oh God.
Swoon.
The hand is on the forehead. Hard swoon. Hard swoon.
Hard swoon. I'm sorry, I know it feels like I'm lingering on this, but because You've
really attached yourself to this Yuchi ship.
I really have. I didn't think I would.
No, I didn't think you would either. You had like this strange attraction to Yuki, which morphed into a strange attraction of Kakeru, and a very concerned look about Machi until you started to like her.
What do you mean?
At first you were just like, "Who's this girl? I think she's being controlled by Akito."
I thought Kakeru was being controlled by Akito too.
True.
I thought that there's gonna be a wild conspiracy.
Yeah, you have a lot of interesting theories. I can't wait to rewatch some of our podcasts and listen to these.
Oh my gosh, those ones were funny. But yeah, so then we go back to the estate.
Yes. And the second that Akito came on screen, John yelled, "No, go away! I want more Machi!" Every time. They always like start an episode with a Yuchi thing, and then the second they switch, you're like, "No, I don't care! Go back!"
Look.
Priorities.
I have simple needs. This one's less egregious than the Modiko interruption.
You got really mad.
I did.
You were just, because you built it up, you were so excited. You thought that they were going to go meet after school or something, and then it was Modiko, and you were like, "I can't do this. I can't watch this show anymore. I'm done."
But yeah, so everyone's back at the estate, and we go into the room with all of the former zodiacs.
Ooh, yes.
And Hiro's talking about how the adults seem more freaked out than they are.
Yeah, the kids are just like, that's cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Where's Shigure? Where's Akito? I don't know. Like,
And then there's Ritsu.
Ritsu counter!
Woo! This is 2 episodes in a row.
I know, it's crazy.
Where it's like modern day Ritsu.
We're getting the new content with Ritsu here.
Oh, juicy content. But yeah, Ritsu's freaking out.
Oh yeah, he's a whole lot of emotions still. And
Yeah, I mean, some things never change. Bond, no bond.
yeah. And Kyo is walking around super confused, like just looking around like, whoa, I am not allowed here usually.
Yeah, because I love how they depict this, because it's pointed out when he talks to Ayame later in the episode, but he has actively not been there. He doesn't know his way around. This has been such a pivotal part of his life forever, and he's not familiar with this area.
Nope.
That's crazy. And then he sees Kagura and he just gives her a cool, yo.
Yeah, he looks so happy. He's like, oh, I found someone I know, yay. And Kagura, yo. But then they have their moment. She's freaking out all over Kyo. Momiji gets a photo.
Ooh.
Shameful cheater.
I see some drama. I smell some tea.
Yes. Oh my god. But I love that the teasing didn't go away.
Yeah.
And Yuki even brings this up. He's all worried that they might all be weird around each other since the curse broke and stuff. But no, Momiji's still memeing all over Kyo. And they're gonna have a great time.
And I really want like a side story where Momiji and Kagura are besties. Because just this moment, like, was such good chemistry between the two of them.
Yes. Agreed.
Just like ganging up on Kyo. Love it.
But yes, back to the former Zodiac members. So, like I said, Yuki's talking about relationships, and then Ayame, Haru, and Rin, they're all perfect in this scene. They start joking around about their relationships post-curse. Ayame's being a lot, and Rin's little faces are so good. I love them.
I missed Ayame so much.
We need more Ayame.
We need more everything.
Let's just make more episodes, everyone.
Why isn't this Naruto Shippuden, which has like 5 billion episodes?
Never ends.
Make it One Piece. Now, all good things come to an end. Anyways.
That's what Tohru said.
Oh! But I also have to point out Ayame's proverb. That
Oh my god.
where he says, there's no need to heed a red light as long as we cross together. And like, Ritsu is like, oh my gosh, you're a genius.
Ritsu's like, that last god is gone, but all I see is Ayame now. Worship.
But that proverb is it's terrible advice.
It's really bad.
It's really bad advice.
Do I still do it when I'm in the city and I just feel like crossing and they're like, I could make it? Yeah, I totally.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I mean, like,
Don't
well,
jaywalk.
to be fair, if there is a group already crossing, if you go with them, you should be good, because the cars
no.
probably won't be good. But still don't do it, because it's not safe. It's not safe. We've seen enough car-related incidents in this show.
15 minutes of John and Allie trying to tell you not to jaywalk.
There's nothing to theorize about anymore. So,
Just like, sometimes we jaywalk, but don't do it!
jaywalking's only bad if you get caught.
Oh my god.
No, don't listen to that. We're regressing. We're coping with our feelings. But yes, Shigure isn't there yet. And Akito, she's letting in everyone on her secret. I'm just saying, how could they not figure it out?
Yeah.
How is this a surprise to them? Come on.
Oh my god.
Who wouldn't figure out that Akito's a woman?
Not you, for sure.
No.
You knew the whole time.
Who couldn't figure that out? Come on.
John ThoughtBubble totally knew it.
Totally knew it. Day one.
Yes, but she walks out, And I love how she goes for shock value. Like, that's real good. Like, she doesn't just come out and be like, by the way, wanted to let you know. No, like, she came out with the outfit. She was ready to go. Her kimono was so pretty. It had, like, cherry blossoms and camellias and other flowers that I couldn't identify because I was too busy crying. And, yeah, and Ritsu has the best reaction.
Because now Ritsu's like, wait, have you taken after my dressing habits?
Like, are we the same? Do we have the same hobby?
She's like, no, Ritsu. Like, you do you. Stay fabulous. But he's not a he.
Akito's a she. Akito's pronoun.
Just like Ariana Grande would say, God is a woman.
Okay, oh my god. So, speaking of... no.
But, so Akito's returned to her true self, and she just feels as though she has so much to apologize for, because she has caused so much suffering for everyone in that room, in one way or another. And I can't imagine, now that she's self-aware of everything that she's done, what kind of weight that must, like, put on her. Obviously, I don't want to be like, oh, I feel so bad that she did these. Like, I feel bad for everyone else, but I also feel bad for her that now she has to live with that for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
As she tries to somehow redeem herself or somehow, like, atone for those sins. And I think that's something that needs to be done.
I also think it's very admirable of Akito to apologize after breaking the curse.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not doing it, she's not apologizing when she still has that benefit of them all being bonded to her. At this moment, they have total free will. Mm-hmm. They can take this apology whatever way that they want. And if they choose not to accept it, then so be it. Akito gave them that freedom. She wanted them to be able to make that choice for themselves. Or at least that's how I'm reading it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she didn't rely on the curse to benefit her in that way.
Yeah, and she's literally hiding behind nothing anymore. Like, she's coming out fully genuine, meeting all of them face to face. She didn't have to do that either. Like, she's doing it because she needs to fess up. She knows that she was wrong. She knows that she did this damage. And maybe this is the first step to healing. And if they don't take her apology or accept it, I mean, they don't need to. Rin being a good example. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Rin never forgave Akito for what Akito did. And you can't really blame her for that.
No, I mean, I'm very happy that Akito made sure that they all had that moment where they could decide whether or not they wanted to accept this apology truly, fully with themselves and not the animal lurking back in their head. So, yeah. I mean, I said last episode that Akito, it's a good thing that she's friends with Tohru because she needs to learn how to apologize really well, and here we go.
Yes, definitely. But then we get to see kind of that Akito, Shigure flashback.
Yeah. So it turns out the kimono was a parting gift from Shigure, but it wasn't to abandon her, it's to say goodbye to the Akito that her father wanted her to be.
Almost allowing her not to be special anymore and celebrating that she's not special anymore.
Yeah, it's time to welcome the new Akito.
And I think that this scene's really interesting. We find out about how he got those scars under his eye. It's because Akito scratched him. And I think that this is really interesting, and it helps me a lot with Akito's character because it shows that it's not like a flip of a switch. It's not like all of Akito's maladaptive coping mechanisms and kind of problems with her emotionality have gone away.
Yeah.
Because she exploded at Shigure in that moment, which made her feel very human, which is fantastic. because I think Taki has done such a good job with Akito in showing that she's not this perfect individual. Now that everything's all said and done, she still explodes. She still has that kind of disorganized attachment with Shigure where she kind of is scared of him and wants to push him away, but also pull him close at the same time because she's infatuated with him. And so showing that weird dynamic between Akito and Shigure shows that she's not fully out of the woods yet.
Yeah.
She still has a lot of stuff that she needs to work through. And this isn't putting a firm period on her and her mental health and who she is as a person. This is an ellipses.
Ooh, yeah. And she goes on to talk about how she was the most scared of Shigure all this time because he pushed her away and he was always concealing his feelings. He could never be tied down, whether it was through the bond or not through the bond. And she just didn't know where he was this whole time. Like, what is their relationship? She was very unsure and it made her really scared.
Yeah, understandably so, because in a way, this is the person that she was closest to, but also not. And so we finish up with the banquet in person. We've already kind of talked about that. And then we get to her going to see Shigure. And this relationship makes me feel very torn, you know?
Kind of uncomfy.
Yeah, kind of uncomfy. Because Shigure is, they say it very specifically in this episode. He admits it. He's almost like childish and selfish. And he wants what he wants, and he gives ultimatums. Where it's like, for all intents and purposes, he says, if I have you, I won't want to share you. I don't like that you were comforted by other people as soon as I got close to having you. Like, it's weirdly possessive.
Yes, bitch.
And I don't know. This relationship, and if you ship these two, I, like, go for it. I don't want to say, like, who to ship, who not to ship. I just don't personally love this relationship because it feels, even still at the end of this story, very push and pull, hot and cold. I would go as far as to say still pretty toxic.
I mean, I feel like personally, I feel like the Shigure Akito story is like, it's what you need in every single romance. You need the one that's like kind of concerning to watch, the like enemies to lovers back again. Like, what are they doing? The drama, the suspense, the like, will they, won't they? I don't even know what's going on anymore at this point type of relationship. Because that's what they always gave me, and it always kept me on the edge. Like, like, what are they doing? I don't know. And every time I read the manga, I would pick out something new and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this happened. I keep forgetting. The relationship is crazy.
Like, their feelings for each other are so just visceral. Visceral hate or visceral love.
Yes.
Like, they adore each other so much that they hate each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's how infatuated with each other they are. And I don't think that's healthy.
No.
I don't think that's healthy at all. I can see a lot of issues cropping up down the road with that level of infatuation, because we even hear in kind of Akito's mind's eye that infatuation. And they do eventually confess, and they kiss under the awning.
Thanks, TMS.
Don't really see that one.
They're hiding the kiss. I don't get it.
But yeah.
Whoa, jinx! You owe me a soda from our fridge.
Okay, I'll get it. Let's pause the podcast.
No. Jeez. But I do love how Akito is talking about infatuation. Like, is it love? Is it lust? I don't know. But like this whole all-consuming feeling. I don't know. It's just so cool how she's learning how bonds are outside of the supernatural kind. Like, what is this feeling? Why does it feel like this? And she's like, is it because I'm a woman? Like, I don't get it. Like, she's trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And because this is the first time she's been allowed to be a woman. Yeah. Which, that must be an adjustment in and of itself.
Literally, she has to figure out how relationships work of all kinds. and also how to be herself in her gender, in her appearance, in her everything. She has to relearn a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and that just in general could, again, like, lead to some just complications with her mental health, with her identity, with her, like, how her self-perception. And just, sifting through all of those pieces will be a process, and she needs people around her who will support and lift her up in that process so that she can be the best person she can be.
Yeah.
Like we see someone is doing for Kyo in the next scene.
Wow, you mean we're reaching the part where I started sobbing? Interesting.
Yes, but before we get into this, I think it's so interesting how different the dynamic, polar opposite I'd even say, between Shigure and Akito and Kyo and Tohru is.
Oof.
Oof.
Oof. Big oof.
Big oof.
But yeah, we get Kyoru at Kyoko's grave. And Kyo is sharing that he wants to leave after graduation and he wants to work at a dojo that's run by someone that Kazuma knows. Big plans. Big future plans.
Big future plans that he made himself.
So proud.
And I think his body language in this beginning bit is so interesting because he grabs the wrist his bracelet was on when he talks about wanting to live a normal life with Tohru, because he used to always disengage from the world around him, and he had an excuse to disengage. But now that he can just be a normal human, the world's his oyster.
Yeah.
And so grabbing his wrist, almost that discomfort with looking towards that future, something he's never had the privilege to do, I think is so cool because it illustrates that trepidation. Because his fear was always on that wrist. So now he's still grabbing that wrist because he's kind of scared of the unknown or scared of how Tohru might take this.
Yeah. He really expected her to take a little bit more time with her answer too, but we'll get there.
Yes.
So Tohru starts to imagine themselves living this life as Kyo is explaining this future. And bonus, she's wearing a wedding ring.
Ooh.
She's carrying a little bento to him while he's at work at the dojo. And it's so stinking cute. It's so cute that she, while he's describing his dreams and his ideas and what he's looking forward to and all of these things, she's imagining it. She's like, can I picture myself here? Do I want to do this? What will I look forward to? And it's delivering a little bento to him. It's so cute.
So I wonder, how long they'll be away. Because he said he wants to take over, the dojo. I know they're going away for a while. But I wonder when they'll come back. And, if they'll come back. Could those plans change? I doubt it. That feels very much family business. But, I don't know. I mean, does Fruits Basket explain where they're at?
Maybe it could. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to read it. Interesting. Yes, and so then Kyo starts to talk about how he's worried about taking Tohru away from the people who love her because they're going to be living far away. And it's also so cute because Tohru's imagining how Kazuma reacted when Kyo told him all of his plans, because he never really had a plan for the future before. We watched their career day episode. He had no plans. His plan was Tohru. He got Tohru, but now what?
Yeah. And so I love it because she's imagining herself being married to Kyo in this moment. In a way, by proxy, Kazuma's both of their only parent.
Yeah. Aww.
And so she might start looking at him as a father figure as well. And that makes my heart really happy. Because he's so good. He put a lot on her, and I'm not stoked about that. But it was the best intentions. I know he'll be perfect with both of them as a father figure. And I I love that. And my first thought when Kyo was like, you won't be able to see your friends. It's like, do you really think that distance is gonna stop Urotani and Hanajima? Like, really?
I mean, true.
Really? There's no way. No way.
Yes, and I mean, true. And so Tohru agrees to go, and Kyo doesn't know how to handle that because he's like, do you need more time? Like, this is real fast. I know I asked you, but like, geez, you answered quickly. Mm-hmm. And Tohru is super stubborn. And Kyo, I love this line so much, it's so funny. And Kyo's like, well, yeah, I guess I've noticed that you're stubborn like a time or two.
Yeah, I think that the way they talk to each other now is super cool. Because she says stuff like, I'm easygoing, but I stand my ground when something is important to me. I feel like they don't talk to each other like they did when they were just like, platonic, like flirting. Mm-hmm. I love how just straightforward and blunt she is being with Kyo.
Yeah. Also, this is me having terrible memory, but apparently, maybe, I've heard murmurs that in the Japanese, like in the sub, we don't know Japanese, so I don't know if this is true, but apparently the way that she talks has changed slightly. Oh. So she's not using the like hyper intense, polite way that she used to talk.
Like so the Katsuya-ish talk?
Yeah. She's not so influenced by Katsuya's way of talking anymore. Mm-hmm. And also apparently her voice has like deepened and sound more confident. Which
I think that it's also apparent in Laura Bailey's performance. Yes. Like, I think that's very telling because the way she's talking, it almost feels like she was putting her voice up an octave higher when she was kind of faking it, trying to cope with her mother's death, almost like staying in that point in time when her mother died at that age. Mm-hmm. And now she can just move forward, be herself. Her voice does sound different. She does sound more confident. She feels okay with being blunt with Kyo because she doesn't think he's a flight risk anymore.
Yeah.
And so I just love the small little things here and there.
Yeah, I also really enjoy that keeps saying that she's standing her ground and that she's making decisions. And they're putting an emphasis on her ability to make these decisions regarding what future she wants as well. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, sure, they're moving for Kyo's benefit. They're going to go to this place so that Kyo can get a job and pursue his future. But that's not to say that Tohru's not going to be pursuing her future too.
Yeah.
Her main goal through all of this was graduating high school, and she's going to do that, and she's going to make a life for herself that she wasn't sure about yet. She just knew that she wanted to go get a job and stuff. Yeah. So the world is her oyster too, and it's not like she's just being influenced by Kyo now. Like, oh, she's in a relationship, so she has to do everything that Kyo wants. No, yeah. She's stubborn too, and that's good.
That is so good, because in a way, because what he wants to do is so niche, they kind of have to move for that. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the world is her oyster.
Yeah.
Like
that's
you
said. The phrase of today.
That is the phrase of today. She can do what she needs, and I feel like she'll succeed wherever she goes or whatever she does. And I don't think that she will just stick around just following Kyo like a little duck.
Yeah.
Like, she will carve her own path, because that's what she does, and she's gonna kill it.
Yes. And she goes on to talk about how she doesn't think that Kyoko gave her final words out of anger or hatred. She's like, no, I'm standing my ground on this. I am so sure of this. And so then Kyo opens up and starts talking to Kyoko's grave. And he says, I know I'm really late, but I'll protect her my whole life. That work?
And this, like, hit Tohru so hard.
Yeah.
Like, her little, like, surprise face when he started talking to the grave. Mm-hmm. Because this is the first time he's acknowledged the grave, really.
Yeah.
Like, he went with her in season 1, and, like, paid his respects. But he was very distant throughout that whole process.
Yes.
And so, him acknowledging Kyoko in that confident manner, like, illustrates to Tohru that he forgives himself for what happened too. He doesn't blame himself anymore.
Yeah.
And he can think fondly back on her now too.
Oh,
Closure.
closure.
I love it, but I hate it.
Speaking of closure, Kyoko's dying thoughts.
This is when I started blubbering.
I was a mess here. I couldn't do it.
I didn't see it coming because this episode had so much stuff in it. I was like, oh, the episode's done when they started walking away.
I mean, yeah, they started showing credits.
Yeah, but her mom just thinking about how leaving Tohru alone is the worst kind of unfair.
Yeah.
And how Tohru was the only thought in her mind as she is lying on the ground, literally bleeding out with panicked people surrounding her, trying to figure out what to do.
And as she's thinking back on Tohru and imagining all of these different moments with her and seeing her daughter's face in her mind, we get one scene where there's like a pink background and we have Daisy, symbolism time with Allie. So she's walking with Tohru. I think they just got groceries or something. And there are daisies, and that also mimics that scene of Tohru and Yuki, so this kind of like maternal feeling. And I just love that daisies keep coming up. Like we had it in a darker scene with Kyo and a lighter scene with Tohru and Yuki, and again with Kyoko. So daisies, they're kind of about faith, innocence, beauty, and all of those things very, very well describe Kyoko's relationship with Tohru.
And I love how she addresses Katsuya as she's dying, saying that she understands now that leaving is just as hard as being left. Because he died at a young age, leaving a wife and a daughter to fend for themselves. And we don't get a crazy amount of context other than he died of a cold, but we do know that she kind of sank into a dark depression when he died. Tohru, as a young little girl, being very concerned about her mother, almost taking that adult caretaker role, even putting on her dad's, like, how he speaks.
Yeah.
To try and comfort her mom and make sure her mom stays with her. I imagine because her mom was so devastated about being left that now that she's the one leaving, she's like, I understand what you must have been going through as you were dying of sickness and disease. And that hurts me so hard that she's like missing this faceless man in her dying moments.
Oh my gosh, faceless. But yeah, so Kyoko also notices Kyo while she's thinking about how someone needs to protect Tohru. And she goes on to say, the next time she gets lost, you go out there and find her. You need to keep her old promise or I won't forgive you ever. And that's the part that she actually says out loud is I won't forgive you. That's where it came from. There was more there.
Yes.
And just to wrap up what she was saying, she begs, please do what I can't. Protect my baby girl. And that, oh God.
The way her voice actress, Lydia McKay, in the English dub, delivers that line just sent me into a spiral.
The way she says baby girl, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not okay.
How she gets choked up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Give her an Oscar or something. Please. I couldn't handle it. Like, I was sobbing so profoundly my shirt got wet. That one hurt. But I think, I'm not surprised at all that she had, like, more of a thought and she only got out, I won't forgive you ever. I think that makes a lot of sense. But that's how that went down.
Do you think it just makes sense because it was your theory?
I mean, I don't want to say one way or the other. But it just seems so out of character for her to be like, I won't forgive you ever. And just nothing else. I
also really enjoyed that her last thoughts mimic the same themes that Tohru's thoughts were after she fell off of the cliff. So they both talked about having happy and sad times, and that it doesn't matter which path you take, just keep living. And I don't know, like mother like daughter kind of thing. I just really enjoyed that. And they both ended up having different points. Like Toru's whole goal was, Kyo, please just like keep living because you've had suicidal ideations before and I'd really enjoy it if you just kept going. Like please live even if it's without me. And Kyoko's was more about being proud of where you end up and being proud of your life so that you can get those nice words when you pass on. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. They just kind of mimicked.
Mm-hmm. And I love how once she does actually kind of pass away, and she's just hoping that Kyo will take care of Tohru, she wakes up in essentially the ocean. And I loved this imagery because you see it in a lot of stuff, like where the sea meets the sky. This very paradise, very soothing, very calming. You see it in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Always.
You do. In a certain context, don't want to spoil that. And you see it in Demon Slayer,
yes,
the movie, in another certain context that I don't want to spoil. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, and how it's this very soothing, peaceful place that you go to that just brings you joy. And so when she came out of the water as a younger version of herself, to see a man walking towards her who we can assume is Katsuya.
Yeah, she sees Katsuya, but we don't.
Yes, he's very shrouded in
mystery.
Shrouded in mystery and shadow.
But we hear him talk.
We do hear him talk, so...
I really didn't think they were going to hire a voice actor for him, like, I really didn't.
If they give him a voice, I still have hope that we'll see his face next episode, but if we don't, at least I know what he sounds like. I'll take a small victory.
Okay.
I'll take a small victory.
We'll read the manga. You can see all kinds of things you never wanted to see before.
But they show his face in the manga, then, for sure.
His face is on the cover of one of the manga. It's hiding. I can't show you that.
It is?
Yeah, I had to hide...
And they won't show it to us?
I had to hide the Ren and Katsuya books for so long. I was like, here's my collection, except for 2. You can't see them yet.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Into the thick of it. And he says, just like Kyoko did, you fought well, which is what she hoped for Tohru.
Yes.
So I wonder if he said that to her as he was dying. Like, he hopes that she fights well, or he hopes that she can say that she fought well. And so maybe she got it from Katsuya, and it's almost like his will going down to Tohru, that this wish that you can say you fought well, connecting all 3 of them.
Cute. Aw, family. But then we get next episode, last episode.
Ironically titled,
See You Again Soon. Which, no, you won't, unless there's an OVA, which I would very much enjoy. Please
give us a lot.
Do that.
Give us loads of OVAs.
Please.
I'd love that. I don't even know what could happen in this episode.
Yeah, bold. How many episodes ago was it where you're like, I hope they don't just end it on a kiss. I want to see stuff after. Like, give me
They
epilogue.
didn't end it on a kiss.
No, they didn't.
They ended it on a death.
Well, okay, no, not like that. But I mean, like, Kyo and Tohru's relationship. You were
Yes.
so scared that it would just end with them kissing, and then it would be, like, all over, like they do in shonen.
Well, yeah. No, I know, but I just don't know what that will entail. Like, how are they going to structure this last episode? What will they show us? More Yuchi content? Hopefully. But I don't know. Will it be?
Laughs in manga. There is a specific line of dialogue that will leave me... I'll be on the floor. I'm buying a new box of tissues.
We need... Because this is a dynamic we haven't seen in a long time. We need to see Yuki interacting with Tohru.
We do.
We do?
I mean, we do need that.
Oh, okay. Because of their relationship being so important for such a long part, because of their relationship being so important for so much of the series, I'll be so upset if they just leave it. you know?
I need same.
We
I
also
need lots of things.
we need a Yuki Kyo scene too.
I need an OVA.
They
I need
need-
more.
Cause we just, I know I keep bringing up Yuki. We also need a Yuki Kakeru scene.
We need Yuki and okay, let's just
And
go down
everyone.
the curtain. We need Yuki with Haru. We need Yuki with Kakeru. We need Yuki with Ayame again, just for a laugh, you know. We need Yuki with.
We do.
We need Yuki closure with everyone.
We do.
Just the last episode is just Yuki closure.
Yeah.
Yuki closure with Ritsu.
Shut up. We need Tohru closure too.
You don't care about that. You just want Yuki. I will never forget you. Like, I woke you up however early in the morning and I go, preview images are out, and I show you one of Kakeru and you go, oh!
Look, I've never been one to hide my bias. We're at the end. I have no reason to hide my bias.
I think everyone knows your bias.
Yeah, I'm really a hero stan.
I mean, same.
I actually do really love Hero. I could go for more Hero too.
Well, we'll see how many characters we see next episode.
I mean, it's gonna be hard to fit them all into a Kakeru only episode.
Oh my god.
It's crazy that Toru's the one talking. We'll find out if they have a relationship, her and Kakeru, and if they know each other.
We'll
They
read the
hinted at
manga.
that. They hinted at that. And then we'll find out that he has a girlfriend and what she looks like.
Yeah. We'll totally learn Kakeru's girlfriend in the next episode.
I demand Kakeru.
We'll read the manga, honey.
It has to. You can't let me down like this, Takuya. No, I don't want to attack Takuya. Whatever you choose to show us is perfect. I just want Kakeru.
I feel like you're the only person who is focused on Kakeru's girlfriend.
There has to be someone else. There has to be someone else who has this really bothering them. Tell us in the comments if you're an anime only and it's really been bothering you that we don't know what Kakeru's girlfriend looks like. Tell me. I need affirmation.
Other anime onlys are like, I don't understand why these manga readers keep complaining about cut things. And you're like, where is Kakeru's girlfriend?
Give us an entire core. It's just Kakeru.
We'll get you into fanfiction now, honey. Okay.
No. Why, if you like fanfiction, go you. But like, I want canon Kakeru. Kakeru in.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we need to leave. We're digressing.
Yeah. I don't know, there's only one more left. I feel like we can digress.
People who made it this far are like, okay.
Okay, wow. Thank goodness there's only one more left of you two.
How much time is left in this? It keeps counting down, but there's still more.
Oh my gosh, 20 more minutes.
No.
Everyone just checked the timestamp and you know you did. Okay, yeah. So, join our Discord. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, just join our Discord. No.
Link in the description down below.
Yeah, all good.
Awesome. Well then, I think that'll do it for this week's episode of our Fruits Basket podcast. So if you like this kind of content, you want to see more of it coming from this channel, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and why not even ring that notification bell so you never miss another upload. And be sure to check out our Teespring page because we have our Hanakatoba design, which is Fruits Basket inspired, and our Crow design, which is Persona 5 inspired on there. And it's by far the best way to support our channel. And if you're feeling zesty, follow us on Twitter too, because we put out some bangers. But with all that out of the way, we hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, a fantastic rest of your week, and why not even a fantastic rest of your month. And we will see you next week for the finale. I'm in denial. Okay, later.
See ya.